attention. From North America to Europe to Africa to Asia to Oceania, we are the key to your personal success. We open the door to the world's best speakers, such as Anthony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, and T. Harv Eker, to name a few. We have over 500 events a year and access to the greatest thinkers, achievers, and motivators of our time. We guide you to the success that lies in every one of us.
But you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone.
We have never really truly reached our destination. There's always another level to strive for. Your best is yet to come. Success Resources, your learning partners.
Welcome, everybody. Brother, good to see you as always. How are you on the other side of this continent? How are you doing today?
Really, really amazing. How are you doing? I know we're you and I are both dealing with some fires in our part of the world. So I hope you guys are all safe and sound up there. We are as well on this side. And everybody, welcome. Welcome to Success Resources Virtual. We are your learning partners. And we are very, very excited that you are here. This is going to blow your mind with marketing skills. I want you ready to take notes today, folks, because the experts we have here today are going to knock your socks off. So welcome, brother. It's good to see you. Success Resources team, it's great to see you guys every 2 weeks. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking your time to spend with Robert and I.
Yeah, and the fact that we know that people can keep joining as we get going. But all the people that were not only here on time but early, we want to give you a round of applause because that says so much about you. And especially in the next 3 sets, this series that we're doing today is going to be what we're going to call day 1. On day 2, that's going to be August 17th. You'll want to make sure you're on that because it's going to guide into and carry on from where we go today. Then day 3, September 4th. So this series, which is all about marketing, because Aaron, I think you'll agree, the 3 components of any business, you got production, operations, and marketing. And you can have the greatest product in the world, you can have the greatest operations in the world, but if you don't have any marketing, you have no money, and if you have no money, you're not going anywhere. Would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. You can't just open up an idea or a concept or a product or a service and expect people to read your mind, filter themselves, and show up at your front door. You've got to go get them. And a lot of people make mistakes in their marketing, very, very basic mistakes, not knowing who their product is for, how they're going to sell to that person, and the different types of psychologies that take place in the different markets. And so that's going to be our topic today, and of course the amount of tools you're going to receive from our guest speakers. I'm so excited. And folks, I want to make sure you understand, there are people who are running their businesses or want to, and they should be here. There are people who could be here. They registered for it, and they said they were going to do it, and they're not here. You are. And that tells Robert and I everything we need to know about you, about your success, and about your business ideas. You make things happen, you show up, you do the work, you take the time, you take the notes, and then you take the action. And that's how businesses get successful. Plain and simple. What marketing is a way to understand the who, what, when, where, why, and how of the people you are selling to. And so we're going to go through the basics. And Robert, you and I get to be the first teachers on today's programs. You have 4. Everybody to put in the chat 4. Write the number 4 in the chat. You have 4 speakers to learn from today. And Robert and I are going to be able to get you started off.
Yeah, and the cool thing is especially in today's day and age with AI and everything, marketing especially is changing. But we're going to give you all the kind of what's latest, what's greatest, how do you do it. But I love what you said, Aaron, because today is going to start with what are the marketing. We're calling it Foundation Forge, building your marketing core. Because if you don't have a core, if you don't have the basics in place, it doesn't matter what shiny object you're trying to use. You're not going to get the same results. So that's why we want to make sure everybody is highly. Well, in fact, type the word highly into the chat box to help accentuate this point. It's going to be highly interactive. And that's why, I've got my second device over here so I can see all the chat that's going on as well. Because we want to make sure.
I can see you all here.
Right? And also, normally, and I know that Success Resources team has already said, hey, put your mobile device down, focus on this, which is absolutely critical because, yes, this is going to be about us just giving you a lot of the basics so you can learn. So we want you to be focused. But Aaron, because you and I are the first ones, we're actually going to get people involved with this little device, aren't we?
We are. So let's talk a little bit about the housekeeping ethics of these types of programs. This is a free event. Again, you're taking advantage of it. So number one, everybody who's here is giving their time, they're giving their energy, they're spending their time, which is their energy, which equates to their financial well-being. So be respectful of each other in the chat, please. There is no promoting or pitching yourselves in the chat. This is a learning event. This is an education event. This is not a chance for you to tell everybody what you do. This is a chance for you to learn how to create bigger profits in your business by learning how to tell everybody what you do. I can guarantee you your market may not be here, but since you are, you're going to learn how to find your true market. So this chat, this is for your feedback. This is for us to make sure that you guys are paying attention and participating. And this is a chance for you to write down what you're understanding and getting the notes. So please, 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 we got enough anger and disconnection in the world. Be respectful and loving in our chat, please.
And, and I'm glad that you talked about the no marketing because, no selling and stuff on the chat. One of the cool things about today, too, is what you said. This is going to be an educational one. We're actually not even going to have anything to offer to sell people. Today, between yourself, myself, and then the 3 other experts that we're bringing on, our goal is here to give you as much information on the basics of marketing. Because one of our goals is for you to be able to leave this webinar from today and integrate and start using what we've taught you to take your product, your service, whatever it is you do, help take it to another level. And if you think that's valuable, type value into the chat box. If you think that's valuable, type value into the chat box.
Yeah, and I'm going to say to Aftab Ali, who wrote in the chat, they might start marketing here. We'll keep our word today. We're not doing any marketing, but that's a good catch. Because the truth is, Aftab, and you are absolutely right, we're always selling. Right? If you're in business, if you're a parent, if you're a child, if you are alive, you are selling yourself. Shameless self-promotion is the name of the world. But what we mean today is we don't have products to sell you today. We have information and education to offer and give. And this is why Success Resources wants to be your learning partners. We will always triple our value to the cost of whatever we do market and sell to you on these calls. And of course, at times we sell things on these calls, but not today. Today is for you. Today is learning and education. And stick to the end. Stick it through. Prove that even if you're listening while you're cooking or working, that you are listening to every guest and staying with us to the end. Because at the end, we always got some choicey tidbits for you to take away at the end of the day. So stick around with us through the whole call. We've got 4, with Robert and I being the first, guest spots for you today. And we love the people we got here for you. So let's get started, folks.
And there's even going to be a stay till the end bonus for those who hang around. So that's really cool. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen because we want to get everybody involved right away. And let's hope this works. Oh, good. You can see my screen, right, Aaron? Because I can see it on my second device.
Perfect.
I love it. So today we're talking about cracking the code, mastering marketing psychology. So the first section that Aaron and I are going to go through, again, this is the basics. Everybody type basics into the chat box. We want you to get that. We want you to understand the critical importance of basics. Because again, as we said, if you don't have the basics, and I have to keep scrolling because mine's not auto-populating, so I got to keep taking my thumb to scroll up.
Listen, this is so important. When we're saying basics, you guys, I want you to think of the house. If you don't have a good foundation, it doesn't matter whether it's painted pretty. It doesn't matter if you like how the ceiling and the roof looks. If the foundations aren't in place, it's gonna fall over. It's not gonna stand the test of time. A good product without good marketing is not sustainable. I want you to write that down. A good product without good marketing is not sustainable. And Robert and I are presenting to you understanding the marketing psychology. Why do people buy? Why do your clients buy your product and not someone else's? This is the basics.
And so, as we said, we want you to get your devices out. Get your devices out. Pull your phone out right now and scan that QR code that you see on. Because we're going to be using a program that Aaron and I love. It's called Mentimeter. We don't make any money off of it, but we tell people it's such a great way to learn. If you cannot scan the QR code, you can actually go to menti.com, MENTI.com, and enter that code 44676639. Because during our presentation, we're going to have you play along. And so that's going to be the cool thing. So let's make sure everybody's getting on. As soon as you are logged in, click the little thumb so we can see the numbers. I already see like 19, 20, 21 people that are coming on, because we want to make sure that we allow you to really participate in our presentation. And I'm glad, yes, staff, thank you for putting it into the website or into the chat as well, the code for people to log on. Nice. And I'm going to go to the next slide, but I'm going to put the QR code up so that you can still see it and access it. We want to know, where in the world are you logging in from? Now, I know it might not be precise. You got to take your finger with that little dot, but we want to see, where in the world is everybody logging in from? So go ahead on your device. I'm going to scan the QR code as well because I want to make sure I'm participating in this. There we go. Oh, look at all the dots starting to appear. Aaron, this is great. Oh, and we're seeing multiples in the different areas. That's excellent. I love it. I'm going to go on over to Canada
those
here.
Of you who aren't using Mentimeter, do put it in the chat. Nigeria, Philippines, Nigeria, Scotland. I was just there. Oh my God.
Belgium, love it.
Scotland.
Dubai.
India, love our Indians. Philippines, Belgium, the UK, Nepal. Wow. Look at this. This is your global connection. This is your global community. This is all of us working towards the same goal of creating our own legacies in our own lives and our own financial well-being. This is beautiful. I love our global community here.
And you know what's really cool about this, Aaron, is because we're talking about psychology of marketing, we're doing marketing research right now, you and I, aren't we?
That is the key. I want you guys to really pay attention to Robert's and my marketing presentation, because we have two layers. We have what we say to you, and then we have what we are getting from you. Mentimeter does not show us who is answering. You are completely anonymous here. We don't get a copy of your email, your phone number, anything. But what we get is information that could change your product. If you want a global audience, look, if Success Resources wants to look at the data they are collecting right now, you can see on the map, what are you learning about Success Resources virtual calls? If you were going to market right here, what is the psychology of our global audience right here, right now? You start to, and put your ideas in the chat. Looking at this map, what would you do specifically about marketing your product? Would you market to people in North America? Look at how many people are there versus in Europe, versus in Asia. What would you do differently with this one piece of information? This is the basics in the beginning of the psychology of marketing. Remember I said it's the who, what, when, where, why, and how. You just saw the where.
Yep. And staff, if you can put in the chat again, people are asking for the login information. There we go, see it already, menti.com, 44676639. And so this is what's brilliant about this, because we're going to have you interact, because again, psychology, what are the basics, basics, basics. So to give you an idea today, here's what you're going to be learning between Aaron, myself, and our 3 experts. We're going to do an introduction to marketing psychology. We're going to teach you how using AI, not only for your demographics and your psychographics, but content creation. Oh, Aaron, our one speaker who's going to be talking about content creation with AI, we got to experience her in South Africa. She is off the charts, brilliant on it. Or is that just me thinking that?
No. The United States government thinks that about our guest. We have an incredible guest about content creation with AI.
We're going to talk about understanding consumer behavior as well as creating effective buyer personas. And people might like, what's a buyer persona? We're going to teach you that because that is the basics. So as we dive into this, Aaron, because you and I only really have a short time with everybody, so we want to make sure that we give them as much value as we can. When we talk about what is marketing psychology, we're going to let all of you read the definition, the blah, 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 blah. This is, what the technical definition is. But Aaron, if you were to explain marketing psychology to someone, how would you say it?
Very simply, why my customers do what they do, where they do it, when they're going to do it, how they like to do it, and how much they're going to pay to do it, and who they are. I want to understand everything. Look, one of the most basic concepts of marketing psychology is allowing me to know where and who I am talking to. Because I don't want to go on Facebook and just pay money, or on Amazon to pay money to promote my product. If I don't know who I'm promoting it to, if we went back to the map and you saw people all over the world, well, promoting to people in the United States versus promoting to someone in Botswana, it is going to cost me a lot different monies. I am going to spend and waste money if I don't know where my clients live. And Facebook is a global community. TikTok is a global, not all over the place. But if you have access to the internet and you're selling a product, where do they live? And do you know how to target where they live? And understanding your audience's demographics and psychographics allows you to create a highly targeted marketing program that ensures your messages are getting to the right people, and that increases your conversion rate and the money you make. Well, that's where profits come from.
Aaron, but my product's for everybody. My products, everybody needs what I have, so it shouldn't matter where they live, should it?
There is no such thing, folks, and this is the number one problem of small business and new entrepreneurs. There is no such thing as a product for everyone. Well, you're wrong, Aaron, because my product is pants. I sell pants, and everybody needs pants. So do you sell men's pants or women's pants? Do you sell children's pants? Do you sell dark-colored pants or light-colored pants? Do you sell summer pants or dress pants?
And Aaron, I'm going to pause you for a moment because I want to respond to this. Jackie, this is not a recording. This is live. I had to say that to prove to you that reading the chat, we are live right now. This is not a recording between Aaron and I. All of our guests are going to be live with you.
Now, the truth is, with AI, Jackie could be artificial intelligence and not live themselves. So, we're here right now.
So, Jackie, are you live?
Are you here, Jackie?
So you're talking about AI for demographics, or you're talking demographics, psychographics, and today we can use AI for that. And one of the things I love working with you is because, what you've just been going over, I consider you an expert on diving into demographics and psychographics. And so, AI can help analyze that. We know that. But we're going to talk about that in a moment. It can help you segment your audience. We're going to talk about what that means. And it can actually help you predict your consumer behavior and their preferences. But before we get into that, before we describe all that, I want to get people interactive again. Because here's the question we have for them, Aaron, is this. Do you know what demographics and psychographics are? Yes, no, or maybe you might. Let's see what people say. And of course, because I love Minions, that's why I made sure I put the Minion in there. So right now, okay, and in the chat, yes, you can do 1, 2, or 3, yes, no, or maybe. Type yes, no, or maybe in there as well.
Great.
And so that if you're not on the Menti presentation, at least we can still see your answers. So we see a nope, a lot of nopes, some yeses, a lot of no's. So this is why it's so important, Aaron, that you and I are going to be talking about demographics and psychographics, because this is the basics of marketing basics. But look at how many people have no idea, or they think maybe they do, but they're not quite sure.
You
So
know,
let's talk about that.
Yeah, and what's amazing, and I want to remind everybody, the difference between a consumer and a critic is that a consumer just absorbs. A critic has judgment. And I want you to use your judgment right now. What did Robert and I just learn by asking you this one simple question? Do you know what demographics and psychographics are? If 35 of you are saying yes, but 15 are like, no, and another 24 is like, I think so, then I already know that the majority of my audience could use some information about demographics and psychographics and perhaps would even buy a product about it. Now, I'm not selling you one, but I'm telling you that in one question, I know that the majority of the people on this call need some support. And being an entrepreneur means I'm solving problems. Being a smart marketer means I am figuring out who actually has the problem and how they want to solve it. So this single slide, this one question, could alter the way I deliver my product or sell it to you. I love demographic psychographics. Now, unfortunately, it used to be something that was very, very expensive to hire a marketing company to do. It is something that would take months because it was deep research, and only marketing companies had the access to the information that you needed. Whether you're selling a podcast or whether you're selling pants to your particular kind of market, the demographic psychographic is very basically going to give you the answer of the who, what, when, where, why, and how of your market. The demographic psychographic.
And I'm going to back it up. I'm going to back it up to a slide because we want to keep it basic. This is an example of demographics. Where do you live? That's all you need to know about demographics. Where does your customer live? So that's my explanation of demographics. Aaron, I'm going to let you do psychographics.
Well, now, the psychology of demographics would also say that a demographic is also my age, how old. Because if I have a product for teenage girls, but I'm a 55-year-old man, then I'm going to talk differently than a 14-year-old teenage girl. So how do I understand how a teenage girl makes her purchasing decisions? I'm a 55-year-old